This is Tony Poulos at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. It's amazing I have to travel this far to catch up with Microsoft's head of communications sector in Asia, Geoff Thomas. Geoff, welcome.
Good to see you.
You're travelling a lot around Asia and you're talking to a lot of telco service providers. What's happening in the telecommunications industry in our part of the world?
Yeah, well, Tony, there's a lot of things happening in Asia, obviously. It's a very vibrant market for us at the moment. But if I had to boil it down into a few key things that I'm seeing, one would be network convergence. A good example of that is in China, where you're seeing the Chinese government really push this 3-network convergence policy, integration of mobile, TV, and broadband networks. New services would be the other one. The operators are really looking at how they can bring new services to market to differentiate, and that's enabled by 4G, LTE network rollouts. Emerging markets would be another one, particularly markets like Indonesia and Vietnam, where service providers are really jostling to see how they can get in on that opportunity. Shrinking EBITDA, obviously this is all against a backdrop of shrinking EBITDA. The march of the smartphone, smartphone taking up a bigger and bigger percentage of total handset shipments would be another one I'd mention.
And how is Microsoft able to help telecommunications service providers, particularly in Asia, to achieve their goals?
Yeah, so our strategy is really unchanged. I mean, we are partnering deeply with service providers to bring new business models and new services to market, and that's really what we've been doing for a couple of years now. Yeah.
Can you be more specific about areas that telcos are starting to move into that Microsoft has specialities in?
Absolutely. So I'd break it down really into 3 different areas. One would be consumer, and then cloud. And the last one is how we're actually working with the service providers to increase their own internal operations and efficiencies. So as I think about consumer, the service providers become a powerful channel for us as a B2C channel. So examples there are Windows Phone, what we're doing in TV, what we're doing with the Windows Live suite of consumer cloud services, many of which you'd be familiar with, like MSN, Bing Search, Hotmail, Messenger, etc. And then of course we've got the properties like Zune, Xbox Live, etc. So that's in consumer. Cloud, we're working across software as a service, infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service. Software as a service, we have our own Microsoft hosted offerings like Office 365. Some of you may have seen that providers like Telstra, Telecom New Zealand are offering that on a syndicated basis. Then we're also working with our hosting partners who want to host the offerings themselves and build differentiated offerings on top of that. And then finally, in terms of how we're working with the service providers to improve their own internal efficiencies, we're focusing on solutions like digital marketing, customer care, business intelligence.
Do you think that Asia, the Asian market in particular, is influencing the way Microsoft is heading with some of these services?
Absolutely. So if you look at the market that we're really doubling down on, that I think will heavily influence what we're doing moving forward from an all-up global strategy perspective, I think it's right here in Asia. Markets like China and India are tremendously important to us, but other markets like increasingly India, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, we're focusing on as well. So a very important market to us.
Geoff Thomas, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks a lot, Tony.